Hi, welcome to this week's analysis of the market, and we are now starting with US market. This is SPY. We are looking at the weekly chart. Since last week, we already analyzed the monthly chart, so we will stick with the weekly chart this week. And on this week, we are seeing this down bar here closing on the low with sustaining volume. And based on the background here, we saw a shortening of the thrust, and now we have seen supply that's coming into the market, and we have seen weakness. And this whole picture put in together is going to tell us that this market is probably going to go down. However, if you ask me whether it is going to go crashing down all the way through all these support levels here, I do not think so, because we are not seeing very climatic volume that's coming into the market at this moment. We are not seeing huge supply that's coming to the market. So I would think that this is probably a correction for this up move here. And I would certainly hope that the correction will probably give us a little bit more downward movement to this level, or even to this level 128 to 130 level here. So I would certainly hope that would happen. But in the short term, I would think that the 135 level or the 131 to 134 level, this zone here, might probably hold as S&P 500 in probably supporting, and we can probably see more demand is coming at this level here. But if you do see a breakdown of this level, I think the 128 to 130 level at the SPY, in the SPY here. So probably at this range here, we'll probably see demand coming in to support the market, because this is the halfway point of this up move, and I would expect demand to come in here. But we, in the short term, I think this will probably likely to play out from the scenario that we had earlier. We mentioned in the last week, we have a shortening of the thrust, and then we see some weakness that's coming in, and I think that this base is probably a very short base, which the up move may not be sustainable, which now we see the down move coming in. And but we still do not really think, I still do not really think that we are probably going to crash all the way down. But at least if it's coming down to here, I will expect market to bounce here. So let's take a look at the daily chart. And on the daily chart, what we're seeing here is that this zone here, which I marked actually this week, and I was trying to see whether price is going to come into this zone of 41.28 to 41.74 area, and we do see it coming up there, and then we see rejection, and price comes back down to close in a mid-range, and we are seeing with a slight increase in volume. So supply actually comes in on this day. Then on the next following day, we do see some sell-off, continue selling off, and price wasn't able to come back to the close. And then on the Thursday, we see the follow-through selling, breaking the low of the Monday low here. And then we see Friday continues selling, and this is biggest selling coming into the market on Friday. And we are closing on the low, which is the 137 level, which coming very close to these this zone here, between this zone, this support zone here. So next week, I would think that we will probably be seeing price coming into this zone, and highly likely we will probably see some demand coming in at this level here. Else, if we broke this level with some force, and then I would think that you will probably come back to this level, then we bounce back to test this zone again to see whether there's any supply that's coming in again. But once we detect supply, I think we are going to hit down to the bigger support level here. But frankly, I still think that we might probably be bouncing off this level here, because this sell-out is almost quite steep, which may have already created some of a oversold condition, and we are covering this gap also, yeah. But we have some oversold condition probably has happened around here, and we might probably see a slowdown in selling on Monday or Tuesday, basically probably supported by this demand line confluence with this minor support area here, and then hopefully we'll see how it goes to come back. If it's able to come back halfway of this up down bar here, come back halfway, say above the 138 level above there, and close it above, then I would think that there is probably some buying going on at this level, and we probably want to see that that happen with slightly more volume, and we then price might just chop around here to build some accumulation, and then probably to create a longer base, which on the weekly chart what we are seeing here is that it's only 1 to probably 3 weeks here. So now we're coming back to build another 4-week kind of base. So we would like to see this base being extended and the lows being observed, and then if once we have that scenario, then I would think that that is probably going to build a base for a higher SPY or S&P 500 index value. So that is my take for S&P next week, and I think that downside will still be having more downside here, coming to the low levels or the support levels here, but any further downside there, it will probably create another down wave all the way down to here to the major support. On the upside, I think it's probably quite limited at this moment. The most I probably would think you will come back is probably the 139 level, which is probably at this range, which is extended up to here. You probably come up to there, and then they're probably going to do some sideways movement. If it's going to reverse up and close it up here, I would think that that is probably a overbought kind of condition, buying climax kind of condition, and that would really add a lot of weakness in this market. So that's my take for S&P 500. Next, we go to the Indonesian market. Hi, this is Jakarta Composite Index, and we are looking at the monthly chart and Indonesian market monthly chart. What we are seeing here on this month, this is the April month. We have already closed April, and we've seen the April month bar here, and we have seen a increase in volume here, and but the spread is narrow, but we're closing in the middle. And we do something like an upthrust here, and so we want to be careful because supply is coming into the market. However, it may not be weakening the market so much because we look at the background. As we can see, this background, we have this big down move here. After this big down move, we have a very, very strong up move, and this up move is almost double this down wave here. So this is a very, very strong market that's going up. We only have a very serious pullback at this level here, this down move here, but other than that, we do not see any very serious pullback. So this probably may be a very good shakeout, as we have sprung this level here, and we see the response to the upside, and we took out the high. So this spring is working in its objective of taking out the old resistance here. But we are not closing above it, so it's still too early, because what we are seeing here is that we are seeing lifting lows here. As we can see, higher lows on the monthly chart. So this is really, really bullish, and we are not seeing excessive volume that's coming in, and that is a good sign. Although the up move here is a little bit difficult as compared to all this up move in the background, right? It's a bit difficult. These just tell us that there is a lot of selling probably going on through here, or probably a lack of demand that's buying in here. But nonetheless, the lows that's lifting has tell us that buyers are continuing they are buying to move the market up, and did not really allow the price to dip lower than the previous month low. So that is really a good sign in here. So the monthly chart gives us rather a good sense of direction, which it is most likely to break out of this all-time high, and then probably going to seek a new all-time high above. And let's look at the weekly chart. And on the weekly chart, we are also seeing some very good picture here. This is another extension of the up move, and volume is coming in. This is very good, and we do see some base building along this area here. I have highlighted that my concern is only that this high volume area, which have building a base, but we have a high volume area. And but this week proved that we did not go down. Instead, we move all the way up and close above this old all-time high, which this is the first week. After this week, where we broke out of the all-time high, we did not close above, we came back down, but price holds at this level here, and then we see now this week we are able to close above the old all-time high. So this is really a good sign to showing us that it is this market wants to go up, and we are not seeing very excessive volume, and the volume is just starting to decline on this up move here. But if this 3 bars of high volume is exhaustion, high volume absorption, meaning that they are buying whatever market is supplying to the buyers. And this group of buyers is going to prove that they are very strong, or they are very committed to the market to push this market up. Then this high volume here will probably absorb most of the supply that's coming into the market in this level here, or probably in the level that is people who are bought here trying to get out of this market or to sell and take profit at this market. If this group of people are really serious buyers, what we will expect is that we will see this kind of normal volume with a slightly wider spread moving up. So that is a logical sense of deriving from this kind of high volume buying, because those people who already sell out in this level here has already done so, because we have this bar to prove that they are already sold out, and buyers are able to move up, move the market up with relative ease of movement with a slightly lower volume. So if this is true, and we do see follow through to the upside next week, we should be seeing some bars, something like this kind of spread, wider spread with a lower volume or slightly lower volume or the same volume as this on the average. We should be seeing that kind of bar. If once we see that kind of bar, that means that this market, the supply at this level has already been taken out by this high volume absorption. But if we do see a bar reverse down of this bar and take out the low of this week, then this is not absorption. It probably be representing something else, might be a distribution. So next week is a critical week, and we must see some ease of movement to the upside if the supply has already been taken out. But if we do not see ease of movement up, that means that the market still has a lot of supply, because this high volume here just tell us the market still has a lot of supply, and this down move here, we are not dipping below, but we are moving up with slightly lower volume. It may means that there are some selling. The selling may just take off. The seller may just take off their hands and then off the market, and just let buyers trying to buy up to a higher level, and they start selling. That it might be another possible scenario. So we want to take a look at what is going to happen next week on this weekly chart. So we got to be careful about that. But on the upside, we must expect some ease of movement up, since if the high volume is absorption volume. As we can see here is that we are also seeing some lifting swing lows here on the daily chart. And on this week we dipped down, Monday it dipped down, and then we closed back up, and then we are seeing higher lows here, except for the Friday, and I do see slight dip down, but we consider this as level, and we are seeing some supply that's coming in, as we can see that the close are not making any progress to the upside at once we reach this this new all-time high, the 4232 level. And then we see supply that's coming in. But it's still too early to say that whether we are going to see this market turning down and take out all the lows here. But we do want to take note of this level, which is the 4150 level, which is this week's high low. If market's going to turn down and take out this low, then this high volume area here is going to mean something else. All right, so we have to be very careful, because if this is going to prove to be a upthrust, which Friday it does be a upthrust here, because we are slightly higher than this high here. If it's as an upthrust and this is distribution, we will probably see some selling going on when pushing the market all the way down towards the 4100 level, perhaps coming down to this level of support, at this zone of support. And let's see how price will move there. But on the overall, we must see some ease of movement up now, as if these are all absorption volume. So I probably have been reiterating this thing for too much, because high volume areas are quite sensitive to the market, so we will want to observe that. So that is my take for Jakarta Composite Index this week. Let's go to the Hong Kong market. Hi, this is Hong Kong market, and we are looking at the Hang Seng monthly chart. What we are seeing here is that, let's look at the background. As we can see on the monthly chart, we have a rally here, then we go sideways, and then Hang Seng's trying to make another new higher high. However, with up to here, we are seeing some struggling because we see selling, then comes back down, goes up again, selling come in, push back down, rally back up again, selling comes back down, and this time it's not able to push back up, but it goes down further again, and we see the market starts to sell off at this level here. On these two bars, we have some liquidation coming in, and the liquidations stop at this bar, which has a slightly higher volume here. And so we form an apex with lower volume on the last bar with apex, and then we start to move up. However, I do not see any ease of movement up on this bar here, these two bars, as compared to the ease of movement coming down. Relatively, there is not much deep down or correction on this up move here, but then we see this correction on this previous 2 months. And on these 2 months here, we see increase on the increase of volume in the up move, but then we also have an increase of volume on the down move. But on this down move, we are not making any lower low. On this bar here, making lower low, and we have an increase in volume. So that tells us that buyers are still quite active in buying this market up. And we do see some selling follow through on this month, this monthly bar here, as price dips down below the low of the previous 2 months, and then we rallies back up on a low volume. So that does tell us something. Okay, what we're seeing here is that we are seeing a very serious weakness here, as we see liquidation coming in at this 2 bars here. Then we see buying coming in, but the buying is not as strong as the liquidation that's happening a lot on this down move here. But however, it does bring it all the way up above the halfway of this down move. So there is some strength in this buying here. Then we see supply coming in on the previous month, and we have a higher volume, but we did not close lower, so buyers are able to hold the market. But the selling has a follow through. But this time, this follow through, we have low volume. So that means that selling has probably either exhausted or probably have stopped for a while to let the market see where the market is going to move up. That's why we see buyers are still active at this level here, and they are easy to move this market up and close on the high with slightly lower volume here. Why I say slightly, because and this volume, if you compare to the background, is not the very, very low volume, something like this or even lower. In actual fact, if this bar dips down and close back up like this with a much lower volume, then we probably can confirm that supply has already been exhausted at this level. So the next bar should be up. However, this is probably a 50-50 bar that we really do not know that the market is probably going to go up or go down, because although it closed on the high, we are closing halfway of this down bar here. If sellers are exhausted at this level, if we have a low volume, so then we probably will see that this bar is probably going to close a little bit more higher, but it's closing in the middle. But on the flip side, if sellers are having control of the market, then we should see this bar closing on the low, but we are not seeing that. So buyers are still in control at this moment on the monthly chart, and for the next monthly bar, we will probably expect this bar probably to dip down a little bit lower and then close all the way up, move all the way up towards the 2200 level. Sorry, the 22,000 level, because this 22,000 level has a confluence of technical points. We have a resistance, we have a support now, probably may become a resistance at this level. We have the supply line, and I have drawn in the reverse use of trend channel, and this is the supply line of the reverse use of trend channel. We have a multiple confluence of technical points here. So, and also this is a demand line. Coming to meet the 2200 level. So this level is probably a crucial level if we want to see Hang Seng moving up. It has to break this level up with high volume. So that is on the monthly chart. Then let's go to the weekly chart. And on the weekly chart, we are seeing this uptrend channel being respected again, and we are coming down on this week, and we are seeing it not even coming close there, but we do see some weakness on this week's volume, this week's bar, because we see move up all the way to this supply line, which was drawn from this point on this point here, and then we extend. We have a rejection from this supply line, and we close back down. So seller is coming into the market, and this is with slightly higher volume here. So there is selling that's coming into the market. However, we are not seeing price dipping much lower, so we know that there is still buying going on at this market. So on this three few weeks bar here, and if we extend it all the way to this week bar, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks of consolidation, and now we are trying to move out of this consolidation period. I would think that probably Hang Seng might be able to break this 21,500 level and going through it with some higher volume coming in. And that's probably going to hold it to sustain it at this level here. Else, we probably would see Hang Seng fail this level. And if we do see an upthrust here, then this demand line is probably going to be in danger of breaking, and price might be just coming down towards the 2272 level. And we probably have to see how it's going to behave at this level. But for next week, the higher chance is probably going to move along this demand line, testing the 21,500 level for the weekly chart. So now let's look at the daily chart. And on the daily chart, what you see here is that this is the Wednesday bar. We saw the this resistance zone playing out and rejected all the prices above there, and then we close back below the resistance zone, and price has a response to that rejection, and we can start to move down. On the Thursday, we see a very high volume here. So this volume is probably a very distorted volume by the transactions of Temasek Holdings. So, but if we do an average volume, volume is still remaining quite average as we come down. So we do not want to see it coming further down to take out probably this high, this low here. If we do see that we are coming back beyond the halfway of this up move, so it might signal that there is some weakness in Hong Kong market on the daily movement, and we certainly hope that this demand line is going to play its supporting role for Hang Seng if Hang Seng is going to come down. But I would think that this level will probably be quite a touchy level to deal with, because we do see a cluster of closures here, and then volume is still average. So if we want to see Hang Seng moving through here, I believe there might be some consolidation at this level, and hopefully not down below and at this level here. And we try to see some supply, demand that's coming in, showing from the volume, a slight increase in volume, and move on the up bars, moving towards this resistance level, and probably likely to break it. But on the technical front, we still have some confluence. If we stretch this zone out, we may have some confluence at this level here. We have a supply line and this resistance line, and we might be seeing some more resistance that's coming in at this same level here. So that's my take on the upside. But on the downside, we have close and below and break this demand line. I think we are going to test this demand line and or this 2600 level probably one more time. Hopefully, if this time it comes down, we would want to see the movement coming down with less ease of movement and less volume. And if that happens, we probably might get a spring at this level here. But we still have to look at how the things develop. So that is my take for Hong Kong market. So next we move to Singapore market. Hi, let's come to the last one. This is Singapore market, which is STI, and looking at the monthly chart, and this is the April bar, and we can see that the volume is pretty low at the April bar here, which probably be representing some lack of demand. However, because we are into this level of resistance zone, which I marked here, and we are negotiating for 3 months, so and we want to find the character of that negotiation. What we are seeing here is that we have a higher low on these 3 monthly bars, which is a good sign, and we have a slightly higher high here, but I think on this month we have not made another higher high at this here. So we are coming into a consolidation, and this month here is really an inside bar of this range here, and we are closing almost about the same level, give and take. We are closing along here, and those signs that we put in together with this high volume bar here, and then we have another high volume bar supply came in here, So let's put out a more logical reasoning here. If we do see supply coming in here, and supply should be greater because we are seeing a very high volume on this bar, but the spread is narrow. That means that buyers are trying very hard to push market up, but sellers just step in to stop price from moving up. If sellers are going to take control after this bar, the next bar we should be seeing a down bar with a higher volume, but we do not see that. We see a drop in volume, and then we are not seeing a lower low. They're seeing a higher low. That means that buyers are able to hold the market up, and the buyers are also able to close the market higher. So what this means is that the buyers are still quite active in the market and trying to hold, and sellers are not taking control over the market at this moment. Then when it comes to this bar here, because of sellers seeing here, and then sellers are not following through, what we are seeing now is that there might be buyers are probably tired up even to hold this market here, which absorb most of the sellers coming in, and then also trying to hold the market up here. This bar, buyers probably been tired out, and this is the bar where the sellers should take advantage of, because if buyers are not coming into the market and is really weakened by these two bars here, the high volume absorption, and then also another relatively higher volume to hold the market at this level here. They are tired out. Sellers should step in and then push price down. However, you do not see that, and we are seeing a slight. It's actually a much higher low here, and we are closing somewhere in the middle. So sellers are not taking control at this moment also. So remember, this is a monthly chart, and it takes 1 month to build this. So sellers are not taking control within that month. So what my argument would be is that STI will probably be moving sideways for another 1 or 2 weeks, or another movement around here before it breaks out. Because what it just tells us that sellers are not interested in moving the market down, and buyers are in actual fact holding the market quite good, in the sense that we see a lower high. So I would think that the next month we'll probably be seeing another higher bar here, probably moving out of this range and coming to this supply line. Hopefully we're able to break the supply line, and if we do see a breakout of this supply line, the 3,200 level should probably be a much easier target to reach. However, when it comes to the 3,200 level, you can see that there's the closers are here, the cluster of closers are here. That might be offering a very strong resistance at this level. So just to take note on that on the Monday chart. To the downside, I would think that this low of this bar here, which is the 2883 level, is a very critical one, because we have a high volume here. If this represents all the buying that's happening here, this point is going to be very, very critical. If we go to see a down bar next month, the May bar down, and take out the low of this bar here, we are likely going to see STI moving down towards the 2800 or 2700 level in the range of this bar to test. Well, if that is going to happen, then we probably have to see how it's going to be done at this level. So let's look at the weekly chart. On the weekly chart, we are seeing this consolidation going on again, and we are seeing lifting lows here. Although we make a lower low last week, but then this week we make a higher low, and then we are closing in the middle, trying to move up, and a positive bar, up bar. However, volume is not very high, so demand is not coming in at this moment yet. So I would think that there is still probably 1 more week of consolidation to see STI through in this range. But I do hope that this, if this bar is going to be a same spread, like all these bars like this, it's probably going to be a higher low, higher high bar, closing high, hopefully towards the 30-31 level. And then that will probably give us a signal that it might be preparing itself for moving out of this very tight range. We do really want to see it break out of this 30-31 level range here. So in order to see STI going up to the 3,200 level. But if it's going to turn down towards the 2946 is the first level of so-called defense. Once it broke this level here, I think we are probably likely going to see a test at 29.06. But if that test is going to fail, we are going to see more lower side. But I would believe demand will probably come in at the 2800 level to support STI, because if that's going to happen, we probably going to have a technical confluence here, so that might give some support to the market. So that is only on the downside, but the likelihood of it going up is much higher, because we are seeing a lifting lows here, and the closes on the bars are pretty good. As we can see, this is only the poor bar close, but we have an immediate response to the upside, closing on the high. And this closed down, slightly off the low, but we have immediate dipped down, immediate response to the upside, close on the high, almost on the high, and then we're closing near the high, and this is also closing near the high, we're closing in the middle. So we do have a cluster of closes at this level of the 29.90 level. So I would think that the chances of STI moving up is much higher than it is coming down. So that is only from the weekly chart. Let's look at the daily chart. On the daily chart, there's really breakout of this apex that I've drawn here, as this is the middle of the apex, which is 29.80 level. So and we see the breakout happen on the Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So this Friday bar here, we came down, and we came down with very low volume. Although we did upthrust on the Thursday, but the volume is low. Then on the next day, we see some follow through from that upthrust. However, the volume is lower. So it just tells me that there is not much selling coming into the market. Because if this upthrust is going to be a very strong one, sellers would take advantage of this upthrust and sell the market down here. But we are not seeing an increase in volume from the selling. So that does means that it's probably a normal profit taking or some shaking out of some weak holders at this down move here. But the close on the low might just suggest that STI might just come back down into this gap for a test, the 29.80 level for a test, and then we just have to see how it responds to that test. And I would believe that if the selling is low, you don't see any liquidation bar like this, kind of a big down bar closing on the low, and with an increase in volume. But because this one is come down with a low volume, that's why we have a immediate response to the upside. If we do see this kind of bar that's with a low volume like this on Monday, then I think we probably might come back to this confluence, this technical confluence of this demand line with this 29.75 level. So this 29.75 level will probably see a rebound of STI towards the upside. So that is more on the STI on the daily chart, and my take is that we probably would see a higher swing highs, higher swing lows here, probably on the next week, and hopefully it might come back to break this 30-10 level and stay above there to challenge the 30-31 or 30-35 level at this area here to break out and go all the way up and end this trading range. Probably a very long and painful trading range for most of the traders trading Singapore stocks. So that's my analysis for this week, and I hope you trade well, and I will see you next week. Thanks.